the Rural and Coastal Dementia Project. The aim of this project was to find out about people's experiences of living with dementia in rural and coastal communities. The following animation represents some of the issues that some people face. The characters are made up and not based on any one person. This is Brian. He's lived in a small village for many years. Everyone knows everyone in the village. His wife, Betty, sadly passed away a year ago. This is Paul, Brian and Betty's son. He lives in a town about 45 minutes drive away. Brian is living with dementia, and Paul is Brian's main carer. The GP gave Brian and Paul lots of information about where to find support for dementia. They both felt overwhelmed and not sure where to start. It was times like these they both missed Betty. They were not used to doing these sorts of things without her. Paul saw that his dad needed some help around the house. Paul rang a dementia advisor. She met with Brian and Paul. She helped them to make sense of the information and where they could get help. Many of the care providers were unable to help. They did not have enough staff to travel out to the village where Brian lived. A lot of information was online. Brian wasn't used to the internet, so Paul organised the support for Brian. This was time-consuming. Caring for his dad started impacting Paul's work. He was feeling quite alone in supporting his dad. Brian spent more time at home on his own since giving up driving. He was feeling less confident to go out in the village by himself. He worried he might bump into someone and wouldn't remember their name. He didn't want to tell people he had dementia. There was a group that helped people adjust to their diagnosis. This was held in a town, too far away for Brian and Paul to get to though. After more searching on the internet, Paul found a dementia group held in the town where he lived. Run by volunteers, the group met in a local cafe. Brian was unsure about attending the group. He hadn't really ever taken part in clubs and groups before. But getting to the group was difficult. No public transport stopped in the village. Community transport was only for medical appointments, and taxis were too expensive. So Paul drove the 90-minute round trip to take his dad to the group. A lady from the village who knew Brian and Betty well brought her husband to the group and so agreed to take Brian too. Paul could then return to work. In time, the group leader helped connect Brian to a men's shed and a gardening club and found a carer group for Paul. Paul didn't feel so alone, and Brian enjoyed getting out with others. A reminder that the characters in this animation are made up and based on some of the experiences shared in the project. A big thank you to those who took part in the project.